their player who was attacked recently and is in hospital at the moment, and part proceeds of tonight will be going to his recovery and to support him. But we have a look at the team lineups for ECU Joondalup. As I said, they'll be fairly emotional, we think, with everything that has gone on.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of build-up in the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of heartfelt messages across social media as well. They'll certainly want to be putting on a performance in honour of Danny Hodgson, and have put out the strongest possible team they can. A couple of players cup-tied from their NPL season, a couple of injuries, but certainly some players there with A-League experience as well as a little bit of international flavour as well.
Yeah, look at Chris Harold in particular, who played so many games for the Glory. Long time was their games record holder before it was recently overtaken by Andy Keogh. For Adelaide Olympic, as they come across as well, it's going to be a good challenge for them. Obviously, on the plane, they'll be enjoying being together as a group and getting over here for this cup tie.
It's always a fantastic opportunity for players who don't normally get that chance to do so. You're looking through the team sheet. Obviously, Urba stands out across the players. He was the goal scorer. I think he got a brace last time against Florida Fina. He's really going to be the danger man that ECU will have to be wary for. You want to be keeping a clean sheet. You want to be keeping it nice and tight, especially at home. That's not really ECU's game plan. They like to get on the ball. They play an expansive brand of football, so it's really going to be an intriguing game.
It certainly will be, and we're not too far away from kickoff here. You mentioned Fausto Urba before. He's notched up over 100 goals now for his club. Italian originally, of course. He's been out here since 2015 and will be certainly a player to watch for Adelaide Olympic in tonight's clash. We check the referees and we get ready to go. Of course, Kenny Lowe is in charge of the ECU Joondalup side, a former Perth Glory coach.
Yeah, was lucky enough to play under Kenny for a couple of years when his assistant coach. Had some fantastic years with Perth Glory. Always a character, always got a quick crack on his lips and a smile on his face. So looking forward to seeing what Kenny produces tonight, let alone the players.
I've missed just hearing him running up and down the sidelines, getting out of the technical area and shouting and screaming his lungs out. I'm sure that will be in full effect tonight as well. Yanis Stamatolopoulos is the coach, of course, of Adelaide Olympic, as well as the two teams get into their final chat just before we get underway. How are you expecting it to play out?
Look, ECU will be trying to dominate the ball. It's the way they've played throughout the NPL season. That gives them some great opportunity to move the ball forwards and score goals. It does, however, have the risk that they're very exposed to a quick turnover, to a quick counter-attack, and players like Urba will be relishing the chance to pick up the ball in their final third and do some damage.
We're just about set to get underway here at Dorrien Gardens, just north of the city. There's the coach of Adelaide Olympic. I'll be keen to get into it after the travel over here. FFA Cup round of 32. And we are underway. ECU Joondalup and Adelaide Olympic. And Olympic will try and take it nice and quickly down that left-hand side. Oh, headed away by Hoff for ECU. Attacking intent right from the outset. Tristan Konstantopoulos down that left-hand side as well. A junior at the club, of course. Spent some time with Adelaide United. It's Chris Harold, former Glory player. There's definitely a number of players with some A-League ties out there. Harold, one of the more experienced.
You can see already ECU trying to play out from tight areas. They will try and do so throughout the game. Olympic looking to press straight away.
Chittadini able to earn the corner for his team. So trying to burst out of the blocks here, Olympic.
And it's such a different competition now with the prevalence of streaming games across the country. Teams really able to analyse, look at how opposition play, what their strengths and weaknesses are, compared to the early years of this competition when you only knew who the A-League opponents were.
Konstantopoulos is sent in. There's a bit going on in the area. A couple of players colliding. Spotted by the referees. They try and sort themselves out. See them just jostling here, and then the old trick just to fall down behind and back over and fall over.
It draws the referee's attention straight away to that spot. Cassidy will have to be careful with his arms.
From the corner, swung in, dangerous ball, headed straight up and knocked away. They want another corner, and they will receive it.
It was a great ball in Konstantopoulos, especially with that little bit of wind just drifting in as well. Anything whipped in towards the keeper can be difficult to deal with.
Christian Konstantopoulos again, just to try and whip that ball in. This one a little bit deeper, headed goalward, but not enough power on it. Easy enough for Perkins to take it, the captain of ECU Joondalup. Konstantopoulos again onto it, just lifting it up for Cittadini, but again Perkins out to avert the danger.
Well, Adelaide has certainly started the brighter. It doesn't look as though they've been on a plane, does it? And so it is only a short trip across, the shortest one you can do. Certainly making a good fist of it so far.
Konstantopoulos chips it back into the area as they make the run for Jason Konstantopoulos, but not to be again.
Well, that was a great opportunity. Perkins perhaps could have come and claimed that. He didn't. He did leave the opportunity then for Jason Konstantopoulos to track that one down, and he'd be disappointed he wasn't able to do more with the cross to get that back into the striker's feet.
Paul Wilson down there, the man they call blocker. He's fired up as usual. He's got a couple of red cards through the season, always in amongst it. Mendes sends the ball long. Cittadini trying to make the run again. Working hard on that left-hand side, did nicely to find it through. Konstantopoulos again, back post, and cleared away by Joondalup, who are trying to do everything to keep Olympic out right now. Montor. Nadakis back in his direction again. The contact was there from Harold.
Just ducking under a little bit, Chris Harold. Certainly all the action on this side, down Olympics' left-hand side. Some dangerous balls played into the box already. ECU have dealt with them so far. They'll need to cut down the supply to limit those opportunities for Adelaide Olympic.
Only 4.5 minutes in, Jamie. We've had a number of good chances already for the visitors. Konstantopoulos, good shape on that one again, just dangerous whipping it in. A little too high for those that were rising, and it'd be a goal kick for ECU Joondalup.
A chance for ECU to take their breath a little bit.
Mentioning pre-game that they'd try and play out a fair bit tonight.
It's a quick change early because of the early Adelaide Olympic pressure, I think. Just trying to put the ball up a bit further up the park, let them try and get some possession mid-third, which they haven't been able to do.
Just trying to clear it away, get it as far away as they can. They just try and find their way into the contest. It'll be a throw for ECU. Naka Praja. Of course, if you want to check out any of the information regarding the FFA Cup, just head along to the website, ffacup.com.au. Have the draw for those teams that have already qualified through for the round of 16 tomorrow. Of course, being kept to those regional areas, again, those that are able to play fixtures. We'll catch up the others at a later date, but while we can play some football and get some fixtures away, it's important to do so. You can head to that website for any of the information you want to check out as we progress through the tournament. Kochi busy in midfield. Menendez back for Wilson. Now Joondalup, Praja again. Barely had any possession so far, but now they could try and release Harold down that right-hand side. Kavanagh, the keeper. First choice keeper missing tonight for Olympic. In Moss, the youngster between the sticks tonight. We're hoping he won't be troubled too much. And not sure he will be if it continues on the way they're going, but clearly Chris Harold on that right-hand side will be a danger.
He is, and it's a real interesting formation that ECU play. Very narrow. They have their fullbacks wide and will push high. And then they try and overload centrally and look for the likes of Chris Harold and Tommy Amphlett to make those little darting runs in behind to get the ball slid through to him.
Cassidy is able to clear it back up the park. Hoff lost out. Bontor. Kochi. For Bontor again. Closely guarded by Shongo. Ball whipped in again, headed on, but too wide. Urba clearly going to be the target. Ball's in like that. They try again. This one cut out by Joondalup. Kochi doing some good body work there to win the ball back for Olympic.
They just can't keep the ball at the moment, ECU. Extremely frustrating for Kenny Lowe.
Ward, Kochi. Cassidy's got a bit of work to do. I'll just let that one run for a goal kick for ECU Joondalup.
I have been asked to constant pressure, Kenny Lowe. Certainly not animated at this stage. But this is where ECU do have the opportunities to break and play forwards.
Nice turn by Healing. Allowing ECU to push forward. Not the ball they were hoping for though.
And that's the reward they can get. If Adelaide Olympic do look to press high.
There they go again, Olympic. Chittadini into some space, a chance to pull the trigger, and it goes wide. They had so many chances of Adelaide Olympic through the early stages. Great one there for Chittadini. The Adelaide supporters here, the team certainly try to urge them on. They've been close a couple of times.
Well, that should have been 1-0. There's no doubt about that. Chittadini, one-on-one with Johnny Perkins. Flashiest shot wide, has to hit the target. Keep it low and give the keeper no chance. Adelaide Olympic should have a goal for their dominance.
There's a bit going on. There'll be a yellow card out of the pocket in midfield here. Urba was held up by Ryan Lowry. Urba was about to turn and go past him.
Bit of discussion there between the referee and the assistant. The offside given instead of the foul. Lowry gets away with a yellow card. I'm sure he'll just save that one in his pocket for later.
Very lucky. Here's Harold. Shongo for Riak. Urba working well to go back and grab it. Anadakis. Urba getting involved again. Konstantopoulos had the ball at his feet, but too many red shirts around him. Ball given away though by Riak. Joondalup hang on to it.
Very high press from Adelaide Olympic, lots of energy.
And they steal it away as well. Chittadini working hard. I'm disappointed he's not on the score sheet already. Not much room to move over in that right-hand side. And will be a throw for Olympic. Kochi. Tee it up. Konstantopoulos. He'll get it back with a 1-2. Riak, an important touch in there. Cassidy trying to clear it away as well. Eventually, Joondalup do see it away. As it's been, they straight back on the attack again. Urba trying to bring it down, but the offside flag is up.
It's a good little ball, especially just holding up in the wind somewhat. Urba just crept offside. Just with the injuries the ECU have suffered in the cup ties, they've just had to tweak slightly some of their players. Declan Hughes, number 4, usually sits in that deeper position, is playing a little bit higher, which he hasn't had to do so far this season. ECU just not finding any fluency at the moment.
And played for a couple of weeks as well after being knocked out in the semi-finals of the local cup. top 4 cup here in the NPL. Just trying to find a way into the match. Cassidy, it's a good ball. Able to find Hughes. We'll lift it down that right-hand side. The flag is up for Chris Harold as well. Not happy with the decision. It was up nice and quickly.
He's still got good movement. Chris Harold retired probably before he physically needed to out of the A-League. Had a budding career in law instead to look after. And a young family as well, and made the decision to leave the professional game. Certainly a very likeable character and still contains good movement and as we know, fantastic pace.
Pretty handy when you just go and work at a law firm in between. Nice backup to have.
Not too many footballers. That's the usual career path, I don't think.
No more to take the throw again. Olympic would love to open their account. Throw just a little bit heavy, despite Cittadini trying to reel it in. John Perkins, the Irishman, club captain since 2019 for ECU Joondalup. Already been called into action a fair bit through the first 14 minutes. Sends it back. React off in there for Joondalup. Just winning those little battles for the most part, Olympic. Ryan Larry, of course, spent some time with the Wellington Phoenix in the A-League. React down that left-hand side. Brother of Shane Larry, of course, who played for the Glory. Great career overseas as well.
Ryan Lowry missed a fair chunk of this season as well through injury. Certainly were affected ECU throughout the season.
Here's Konstantopoulos pulling the trigger. It was always flashing high, always rising. And into the netting, well above the goal.
And that can be the pressure that ECU invite on themselves when they don't execute well.
And just closely checking Harold there. Right on his shoulder. Larry back. Now the turn. Amphlett. Easily enough dealt with by the defence of Olympic. And on the left-hand side, Larry will have it covered. Cittadini's look lively though. Gets a touch in there too. It'll be a throw for Joondalup.
You just wonder how long Olympic can keep up this high press. It does take its toll without visible reward where you can sit back into the game a little bit.
Hoff loses out. Konstantopoulos onto it again. Right to the top of the area. He'll lay it off and they'll try the shot. Well blocked first time. And taking it away again, Shongo with a great defensive effort there to block the shot initially, but then to recover and to take it away.
He did do very well. It opened up there for Olympic. Shongo, strong challenge.
He's getting involved there as well as they play the ball forward up towards Harold. And it does stay with Chris Harold initially. And he's just caught on his heels. Could it get him moving forward? An errant arm there from Harold. Fernandez will pick himself up. Been at the club a long time. Christos Fernandez, over 200 appearances. Whole family connected with the club, been right through. Started off as a striker, moved to centre back. Club joking he scored more goals as a centre back than he did when he was as a striker.
Explains the number 9, at least.
Long ball out to the left-hand side. Jason Konstantopoulos causing some headaches. Lovely feet, just dancing around them all. Back into a central position. That'd be a delightful goal, but it's just tipped away. A great save in the end by Perkins, but a brilliant run by Jason Konstantopoulos.
He just got a head of steam up, didn't he? As soon as he started across the box, he knew at some stage he was going to pull the trigger. Had to delay slightly the bobble across the field. Not assisting, but got it low on target. Perkins stretched well and turned around for the corner. Another good sign, and again down this left-hand side for Olympic. They are causing ECU some real headaches.
They have to defend here again. Christian Konstantopoulos this time sends the ball in. Lowry able to head it away. And Urba can't keep it alive. That's certainly a fantastic chance there for Konstantopoulos a few moments ago.
ECU was on to go long early. Olympic hadn't got back. Harold was standing on his own on the halfway line.
Hughes and Praja getting involved. Praja again. Harold makes a run, and there might be a chance here. Joondalup, if it opens up, he's got Amphlett on the inside. A ball longer still, right across to Healing, who goes down in the box. And the best movement forward for ECU Joondalup. After all the attacking from Olympic, it's Joondalup who go back up the other end and cause some headaches and cause the error.
Well, they just got themselves caught out. Olympic tried to press too much. The ball goes through the legs of Maud. Healing goes over. There's not too much I don't think he could do to get out of the way. Healing is an expert at the dead ball, scored 2 free kicks. I believe it was the last NPL game of the season, both to the far post across the keeper. He won't necessarily look to go over the wall. And Kavanagh looks as though he's given him a decent target on that far side as well.
So the Welsh free kick specialist, Ellis Healing, lifts it too high. The initial foul just outside the box. Gave him the opportunity. The best foray forward for Joondalup.
By far. And that's the advantage the ECU do have when they can break that press. They can go forwards quickly. Just weren't able to take advantage of that situation.
That is Josh Kavanagh, the reserve keeper. Lewis Moss not there tonight. Couldn't quite make it with his work commitments to come across. The 17-year-old between the sticks instead for Olympic tonight. Who would have been happy to see that one sail over his head. Urba unable to control it. Lowry. Wilson wide. Maud. Bonsall down that right-hand side. Joondalup just have steadied into it a little more in the last 10 minutes or so.
They certainly needed to, didn't they? It was one-way traffic.
It wasn't a great start, we'll admit.
I think you look at those sort of things, you think, well, you haven't conceded, you're still in the game.
Urba down, they let it run. Jason Konstantopoulos trying to just dig that ball through, looking for the run. And this is long ball up towards Urba. Flag staying down.
disappointed Herber. He got in behind Lowry too easily there and just could not protect the ball. Bring it back in. Kenny Lowe urging the team to play.
Trade of their game, ECU Joondalup.
Adelaide Olympic prepared to take the gamble, leaving man for man at the back, going with the high press. It's proven effective. It's just that one opportunity, isn't it, that ECU managed to slip through. Created that free kick.
Jakub Praja to take the throw, former pro in the Czech Republic. And Ennis the header. Praja and the rest were done by Jason Konstantopoulos. Kochi was nicely done. Darkus, that long ball forward again, looking for Herber. He's the big tall target down there.
He plays on the shoulder really well as well, though. It's not as though he's presenting and receiving the ball into feet. He's looking for the ball in behind. He's causing Lowry and Cassidy problems with his movement. Adelaide Olympic certainly not shy in dropping that ball over the top.
I want to play it in quickly. Whipped in again. Trying to catch the Joondalup defenders off guard by playing it in short. Able to avert the danger. Cassidy up the line, Amphlett not able to control it at his feet. We spoke about it briefly pre-game, Jamie, but Danny Hodgson's been such a big story over here, and the football community locally has really gotten behind him. Young man who was walking through Perth City a few weeks ago now and was just randomly attacked and has ended up in intensive care in hospital. Part proceeds of tonight's match will be going to Danny Hodgson. It's a story that's really struck a chord with a lot of people over here, and as I said, the football community's got right behind it. A charity match last week, raising quite a bit of money, up to $10,000 already. Proceeds from tonight going to it as well. A much-loved member of the ECU Joondalup squad. It's Jamie, it's been something, as I said, the whole football community's been behind, but how tough is it for these players to get out here and play, given how much has been going on the last couple of weeks?
Oh, extremely difficult. You know, we talk and joke at times about how much football means and how serious it is, but you've got a young man in hospital after the last game of the ECU season. It was after their last league game. It's a really tough one for the players to digest and come together and maintain that hope that we all do that Danny comes out and goes on to lead his life. But certainly, as you mentioned, across the whole football community, just so many tributes and so much fundraising, both here locally, but then some of the tributes from across the world and donations that have gone. So, wishing Danny all the best in his continued fight.
Thoughts with all of his family, his parents making the trip. The call went out to try and get them from the UK to Australia. Of course, the quarantine restrictions are so tough for them to be able to go and see in the initial stages their son, but have since been able to do so. It's half a thought that they may be here tonight, or may be able to make an appearance here tonight and come and see ECU Joondalup play, but of course they're spending time in the hospital, so not sure if that will actually be possible. But here you go, Joondalup. Ball in, no danger there. But if anyone would like to donate, you can go to the GoFundMe page for Danny Hodgson. Just go to the GoFundMe website, type in Danny Hodgson, and you'll be able to find your way there if you'd like to make any sort of donation to try and help with Danny's recovery. Shongo on the ball for Riak. It's just a little short. Should have been able to block it nicely. He thought for half a second he might have been able to run onto it, but it had too much power on the deflection, rolling its way to John Perkins instead. Just pressing high again and putting that pressure on.
And this is where Adelaide Olympic want that ball to be travelling in the air up to Harold and Tom Amphlett, neither particularly well known for their aerial strength throughout their careers.
Good challenge in there by Hoff. Would just be able to kept in play. Foul committed by Cittadini.
Smart by Praja there. Got his body in front. Knew he wasn't going to go anywhere. Making sure he felt the contact, went down and grabbed the ball in to make sure it wouldn't go any further as well.
Lowry. Up for Harold. Hoping for Hughes. Ward. Pontor down that right-hand side. Good run. Shongo there with him every step. Lovely feet, set it in. Cittadini was there. But the Joondalup defence do well again.
Well read by Cassidy as that one came back, just able to stick a leg out.
Pontor. Konstantopoulos. Another good turn. Urba. Out wide for Cittadini again. Very lively. Pontor, Cittadini. Kochi. Good challenge, able to take it away. And here go Joondalup. Chance on the counter. Send the ball wide, looking for Amphlett, but not to be. Great challenge by Healing to win it back initially for Joondalup.
There was a little bit of overconfidence perhaps from Cittadini as well, and options to play both out wide and then come back in centrally. Opted to regain the ball and retain the ball, which gave the chance to ECU to break. Tommy Amphlett, another who hasn't played a huge amount of football this season, being drafted in over the last few weeks. He'll probably be feeling it certainly in the second half. Ellis Healing is only back from a ACL in the last 3 or 4 games as well. Just wonder how much some of these players do have in them, especially when you don't have the ball for long periods of time.
Herber. Out for Jason Konstantopoulos. Praja recovering nicely. Hoff through midfield. Healing. Lifting the ball long up towards Harold. Nice blocking done by Blocker Wilson just to hold Harold at base. Certainly had the size there to do so.
Confidence from Kavanagh as well. Long way out. Trusted his defender. Claimed the ball.
Again, there's a tangle back in midfield. Urba going down again.
Difficult one for the referee to spot. He's focused on the ball. He'll be looking for hope from his assistant if Casey could catch it.
Cassidy towards Hughes and hit his head strongly. Manadakis will pick up the yellow.
Don't agree with that at all. That's a strong header. If you're going to give the free kick, so be it, but certainly not a yellow card. It's very difficult for Manadakis to do anything like that. You can't jump with your hands by your side.
Manadakis, he was not happy when he saw the card come out of the pocket.
Certainly for a game that's got no malice so far, it's a soft way to start the yellow cards.
So we've ticked over half an hour, Jamie. This ball goes down towards Harold. And down from behind, Penendis committing the foul. Get another look at it here.
Well, of either of the two incidents, Harold's there first. It's a challenge trying to go around the side and behind from Penendis. Harold's certainly feeling the effects of it as well. He's wondering why that's not a yellow card.
It does seem a bit strange seeing one after the other. And here we go. Free kick lifted very, very deep. Riak able to keep it alive. A young keeper knocks it down. There was some contact with him, though. The ball was in the back of the net, but the whistle had blown quite quickly.
And clearly, Kavanagh probably, as he grows and gets a bit stronger, wouldn't be as bothered by that challenge, but certainly a free kick.
So we ticked over half an hour, Jamie. Olympic did, well, they've done the bulk of the attacking, particularly in the first 10 minutes, but Joondalup have just been able to slow things down and played a bit more at their tempo.
They have, and this is where they can start to play. When the game does get spread, they can find those little pockets to get players in behind, little channels. Certainly the game not being played on the terms that ECU would like it to.
It was all done by Manadakis to keep it in, and then teed up Chittadini. Konstantopoulos took the early shot. Chittadini was making a run down the left as well. He's hoping to duck back in behind, but will be a goal kick.
These are the danger areas for ECU. When they can get out of there and play higher, they certainly have some quality. Being able to do so, which they have.
Well, flirting with giving it away, but Hughes now able to send that long ball to the left-hand side where Harold has just drifted across, and he wants to try and take on the defence. Chris Harold with his speed rolls it across. It was almost a tap in at the other post for Hughes. Saving the day was there for Olympic, and it is out away for a throw, but a great build-up here by ECU Joondalup.
Oh, it's the quick counter-attack. They've kept it in. And it's Bontor who's got back from the right wing position. He has tracked back fantastically well and defended it with real aplomb.
Would have been easily put away for Hughes had Bontor not been there. It would have been a remarkable lead for Joondalup had they been able to claim it.
Well, Adelaide would have been absolutely sick if that ECU had scored off that one. It was wonderfully well created. Perhaps that's going to give them a bit of confidence now to take the game to Olympic.
Shongo down towards Harold. Fans here wanting a foul. Hughes brings it down. Wilson will clear it.
Chris Harold asking the question, where's the advantage from just hooking the ball into the box? Prefer the free kick from that sort of range, and certainly back him on that argument as well.
Praja. Down the right, Amphlett is there. Looks like the switch between the two. Amphlett on the right-hand side now.
They usually do play quite fluidly as well. Players will interchange as long as they occupy those positions, those pockets. That keeps Kenny Lowe happy.
Amphlett just lays it off. Praja trying to play it into the feet. Cleared away by Olympic. Now their turn to do a little bit of defending.
There's certainly some confidence building amongst the ECU players. When they do get on a roll, it can be difficult to stop. When they do start popping the ball around, making good little runs forward.
Menendez. Ward. Kochi being hassled and is pressed out of it there by Joondalup. Maud having to try and recover. Riak continuing to apply that pressure, and Joondalup get the throw.
The first real time that we've heard the ECU crowd as well, isn't it?
Yeah, starting to warm into things as the temperature drops a little bit here. They're enjoying it. The local team certainly improving their output in the last 15-20 minutes of this match.
I just wonder if that inability from Adelaide Olympic to take advantage of their pressure, their chances, might just cost them. Already the level of pressure just dropped a little bit that they're able to apply.
trademark Kenny Lowe on the sidelines. Barking instructions, barely sits down. Forward in midfield, but foul committed by Hughes. Kochi to Manadakis. Jason Constantopoulos. Will go the way of Olympic. Joondalup thought they had the throw. Manadakis. Good throw into some space for Constantopoulos, but defender out charging. Changed the angle, took a deflection, so it will be a corner for Olympic again.
ECU just switching off a little bit there. Constantopoulos able to drift off the shoulder of Hoff, I think it was, into the space. Didn't get anything near on what he did on his shot.
Kristen Constantopoulos sends it in. Lowry heads it away. Back for Constantopoulos. Manadakis. It's a little heavy. Erba's there, it's off his back in the end. Healing, trying to turn it into attack. React trying to make the run, but run by Kochi. Ball just bobbling up off the pitch. Tough to control. Ball in, but flag is up. Manflet thought he'd make the run at the right time, but linesman right there.
Oh, must have been close. Manflet, lovely run to split the ball through. Full back and centre back. Not sure what. Looks like referee's brought something back for a foul.
So Hughes leaves it alone. Lowry will also do that. Tick towards 40 minutes played. Can they create? ECU Joondalup. Praja just lifting it in. They rise high. Just getting over the back. Lowry drifting forward. Strong header.
There's an elbow in the back of the head.
Yep.
That should be a yellow card as well then.
Yep.
It's exactly the same as the last one. There's the raised arm. If there's consistency, that should be a yellow card.
Haven't seen one emerge. Manadakis sends it in. It rolls through everyone in the end. Manflet. Hughes. Riak heading it on. Healing. To the left. Manflet working hard to get it. He'll just try and tee it up. Healing's pressed on. Didn't make great connection. And it goes wide in the end.
Good build up from ECU again. Clever run. Tommy Amplet out into the space to pick up the ball rather than directly through on goal. So he created the area essentially for Healing to come into. Certainly having more and more of the game as this half progresses, ECU.
Joondalup again. Well done by Kavanagh. Coming out to meet it. Heads in our direction.
Ready to bring that one down.
Yeah, you were. I wasn't. I've been hit by the ball here before while I was commentating. Don't want to see that happen again. You're keen to get out there into the action.
Oh, it's always good to be involved in the cup nights. It's what you want to do as a player on these big occasions.
Go into the feet, Amphlett. Started to knock it on, but no one there making a run for Joondalup. Definitely warmed into the occasion. Kenny Lowe wanted a foul over there. We'll stay with Olympic. Amphlett working hard. Stay with Olympic. Constantopoulos, Chittadini. One back by Joondalup. Off the referee. We'll stay with ECU. Matt Southern in charge of the match tonight. Tick our way towards half-time. Adelaide will be disappointed they're not on the score sheet. Had some great opportunities through the first few minutes. ECU Joondalup have just warmed into it as the clock has ticked by. Here's Hughes. Lowry. See a goal later on in this half. Harold wants to just turn and burn. Praja with the overlap down the right-hand side. Harold provided a run again. Praja holding it. Now for Harold. We'll get past one, but enough blue shirts there for Olympic to send it back in the other direction. Jason Constantopoulos, touch just a little too heavy. Allowed Thomas Hoff a look. 2 minutes of time added on in this first half. Ball out wide for Praja is a good one. So just nip back in behind a little. Harold making the run in the box, but overhit. Seen away.
It's suddenly become end-to-end, hasn't it, in the last few minutes? Game really opening up. Already a couple of ECU players stretching out, which isn't a good sign. You've still got a minute before the end of the first half. But again, a little bit of reliance then on the lack of game time. As you said, they had the friendly game on Tuesday night. Some of these players without a game for 2 or 3 weeks previously before then.
Montour gives it away. Praja's played a good hand in this first half.
He was certainly overloaded defensively early on, wasn't he? Majority of attacks coming down this side. Provides a very willing threat going forwards. So I experienced firsthand as coaching him for a couple of years as well before he made the trip further north.
Decided to just skip a few more suburbs up the coast. React. Both sides now clearly looking for the whistle for the half-time break. They head to the sheds and just reassess. challenge there, so free kick will go the way of Olympic. Cassidy always happy to get physical.
It's clever by Erber as well, isn't it? Just a little back in.
He's just waiting for it, wasn't he?
Yeah, pretending you're going for the ball. It was right on the extra 2 minutes as well. Matt Southern allowing this one to be taken. Other referees would have used that as a good excuse to blow the whistle for half-time.
Manadakis to send it in late. Chance here for Olympic. Riakovic to head it away. And that'll do it for the first half here at Dorrien Gardens. Olympic coming across and had the best of it through the opening 10 to 15 minutes or so, launching shot after shot and attack after attack. But the home side in ECU Joondalup really steadying through the rest of that first half. And it is all square as we head to the break. Halftime here at Dorrien Gardens. It's ECU Joondalup 0, Adelaide Olympic 0. Welcome back to Dorrien Gardens, where it is half-time here in the clash between ECU Joondalup and Adelaide Olympic. It is 0-0 at the break as both teams head into the sheds and try and reassess. And Jamie Harnwell, it was quite an intriguing first half. Adelaide Olympic completely jumped out of the blocks. ECU Joondalup were doing all of the defending, but then in the end, Joondalup ended up having more possession.
Yeah, and that's what we spoke about, wasn't it? ECU would be that team. They want to get on the ball. They want to play. The shots tell a bit of a different story, don't they? The majority of those would have probably come for Adelaide Olympic in the first 15 to 20 minutes. ECU expanded into the game and created some really good chances for themselves.
That they did. They got close on a couple of occasions, but certainly started the better did Adelaide Olympic as we have a look at a few of the highlights here. And the two Constantopouloses got busy particularly early, as did Michael Cittadini.
Well, Cittadini should have scored. There's no ifs or buts about this. It's, you know, the high press that Olympic have been trying to put in all game. They win the ball high. They were able to slip it through, and you've got to score there. That would have paid Adelaide Olympic for their pressure. It would have been fair reward. Instead, the game stayed at 0-0, and as it went on, it continued to stretch. Olympic, after that, didn't create as good a chances. There were some snatch shots from around the edge of the box, but certainly that first one was the key one for Adelaide Olympic's half.
This is probably the best run we've seen tonight. Jason Constantopoulos going right across the top of the area, pulling the trigger, but just wasn't able to find it past John Perkins.
No, and then this is where ECU started to assert a little bit of dominance. Had the one little breakaway, and this was the start of it. The foul on Healing, and Healing, who scored two great free kicks recently in the NPL here in Western Australia, putting that one over the bar. An early soft yellow card, I would have to say. I think the fact that Hughes put his hands to his head initially conned the referee into that one a little bit, and then very soon after, within 30 seconds, it's a challenge on the outside of Chris Harold's ankle, which is just the free kick. But ECU certainly grew in confidence as the half wore on. They started to stretch Olympic, and this is great defending. It's a wonderful move, but Bontor gets back as a right winger to take the ball off Declan Hughes' toe, which would have been a certain goal, so credit the winger there for doing so. But again, ECU built more and more pressure, and the two of Harold and Amphlett were able to split and able to cause Olympic some real problems.
It's, as you said, the Harold and Amphlett being able to switch sides and just cause a little bit of havoc down there for ECU Joondalup. And they did have a couple of opportunities. That one not struck all that well in the end, but they built into the first half as we got closer and closer to the end of the first 45.
And importantly for ECU, it also meant that they were keeping Adelaide Olympic further and further away from goals. They didn't cough up the ball as easily in their back third. They didn't have to deal with it quite as much. Olympic still offer a threat, but they'll have to do much better than they did in the last part of that first half.
So just a light sprinkle of rain here, but it is half-time. We'll be back very, very shortly. But right now we get a chance to have a look at some of our commentators.
My name's Simon Hill, and I'm going to be commentating the national teams and A-League and W-League for Channel 10 and Paramount Plus. What Australian football means to me is everything. I mean, you know, I'm a newcomer to this country, relatively. I came here in 2003. It is a family. It's taken me into their hearts, and now I am evangelical about it. I want it desperately to succeed. And we know we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we've got so much blue sky ahead, and I passionately believe in that. What excites me most is the fact that we have only just scratched the surface of our potential as a sport. When you look, you know, just a few years ago, we had 60-odd thousand watching the Sydney Derby, 40+ thousand watching a Melbourne Derby. We have full houses for grand finals, for Big Blues, for the Socceroos, for the Matildas. The fans are there. People love this sport in Australia. We belong. And we just got to make that connection to get the people who play the game and are passionate about it, maybe for their local club side or for their overseas team. We've got to get them involved with the A-League and the W-League, and we're going to do that. There are two big hurdles, I think, for the Socceroos on the road to Qatar. The first, obviously, is COVID, which could put a spoke in the wheel of playing home games. We hope that's not the case throughout the group stage, but that's going to be difficult. The group that we're in is very, very tough. We know about Japan, of course, and Saudi Arabia to a certain extent, But the other teams are going to be difficult as well. They're on the rise, particularly Vietnam, that have invested an awful lot of money in their football. And we don't really hear too much about it, but trust me, they're on the move. But are we good enough? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to steal two favourite Socceroos moments, if that's okay. First of all, the qualifier against Uruguay in 2005. That's not, and I've said this before, probably my personal favourite, because I had a difficult night in the commentary box. But it was so important for the country, and really the game of football took off after that game on 16th of November 2005. It's imprinted into our heads, that date, which tells you all you need to know. The second one is the game against Japan in Germany. The Socceroos' first ever win at a World Cup finals. Timmy's 2 goals, John Aloisi's late strike. Just pure euphoria and mayhem. That's what football's about. It's brilliant. My prediction for season 21-22 in the A-League is that Melbourne Victory are going to be an awful lot better. Let's be honest, they have to be after the wooden spoon last year, and Tony Popovich certainly won't stand for that. So Victory will be on the rise. In the W League, similarly, I think Melbourne City had a very disappointing campaign by their very lofty standards last year. So I think they will be contenders again. So that's my prediction, a much better season for both halves of Melbourne. The beard, obviously. I mean, if Broski's not going to claim it, I am. What I'm most looking forward to being part of the team is being back inside football stadiums every weekend, COVID permitting, of course. I've missed that. It's been a big gap in my life to be around football people, to be around the game that I'm passionate about and love, and to be involved in it on a day-by-day basis. There's nothing like it. It's the best job in the world.
about set to go here for the second half at Dorrien Gardens. ECU, Joondalup and Adelaide Olympic going at it tonight. It is 0-0 at the break. Chris Harold gets us underway. Second half FFA Cup round of 32. ECU, Joondalup and Adelaide Olympic. And neither team to find the score sheet in the first half, despite some great efforts from both teams. Adam Papalia, Jamie Harnwell with you. Jamie, for those just joining us, how have you seen it so far?
Well, there's no goals there. There could well have been. Certainly Adelaide Olympic came out of the blocks, really put ECU Joondalup under a lot of pressure, won the ball back high and forced ECU right back on the heels as the half went on, and Adelaide Olympic didn't take their chances. ECU certainly grew into the game. They were able to counter a couple of times, which got them higher up the park, and then ultimately start to play and end up dominating possession for that half, which you wouldn't have thought after the first 15 minutes or so. So very open game. And yeah, in particular, anyone there to get through to the round of 16 at the moment.
Well, that is what is up for grabs. Saw the foul there. ECU Joondalup, side that's been through a fair bit over the last few weeks. Haven't played for a number of weeks either after being knocked out in the semi-finals of the Top 4 Cup here in WA. It took them a little while to get into their work. Praja goes down. He was certainly busy in the first half.
Got a good engine as well. Praja loves to get forwards. Certainly suits the way that the team wants to play.
Long ball. Cross to Healing. And it will be a throw for Joondalup. Shongo to take it. Will we see the first 10 or 15 minutes played at the same sort of pace as we saw the opening part of the match?
I'm sure Adelaide Olympic will certainly want to. In their best period, they had the chance to recharge somewhat. This is the problem though, as ECU do have the ball, they're able to expand what they're looking for, playing the little pockets. You can see how narrow the front four, if you like, for ECU are. It draws the Olympic fullbacks in, exposes the two centre-backs one-on-one against Amphlett and Harold, which is where ECU Joondalup can really cause some damage.
Ria could go all the way back for Cassidy. Shongo. Praja on the ball again. Gives it away this time. Constantopoulos out wide. Urba looking to get into the action a little more in this half. Still a half opportunity there for Olympic, but Joondalup do enough.
Just a bit too ambition. I think that was Jason Constantopoulos trying to flick the ball past without the room to be able to do so between him and the goalkeeper Perkins. ECU turn the ball over again. This is where Olympic can start to capitalise if they can apply that same pressure, lock ECU back into their own half. Try and turn the screws.
Cittadini had a great chance in the first half to open the scoring. Just wasn't able to bury it. Amphlett. Menendez with the challenge, but Amphlett able to hold it and then overhits as he tried to send it across to Shongo.
I just wonder how long Tommy Amphlett has got in those legs. As I said in the first half, not a lot of football this season. As a former teammate of mine at Perth Glory, obviously not the youngest player going around it, even though he was extremely young at Glory. but certainly approaching veteran status now, Tommy Amphlett, and long association, him and his family, with ECU Joondalup as well.
His dad was a long time on the committee at ECU Joondalup.
President as well.
Here's ball sent in. Erber trying to bring it down, tees it up, and it's blocked away by ECU Joondalup. Another opportunity. Nadakis having it in across the face on the goal mouth, but Joondalup doing enough, just flirting a little dangerously as they try to play it out again. Wilson will send it back in. Konstantopoulos, his shot blocked. They're queuing up for opportunities, and then the foul given away by Konstantopoulos.
Just opened up a couple of times there for Olympic. Not able to take advantage. There's the foul as it broke. Got into good areas in and around ECU Joondalup's box. ECU had numbers back, able to get enough pressure and block shots. Olympic just struggling to create that clear-cut chance, the one that they had in the first half with Chittadini.
Harold into the path of healing. He's had a bit of space in front, but it caught underneath his feet, wasn't able to execute and find the run of either Amphlett or Harold pressing forward.
And that's the problem that ECU can cause you when they do get the ball forwards. With those central players, they almost leave the wide areas alone.
Challenge there to win it back, and now Harold bursting into the box, cuts it back, plays it across. Healing was hoping to accept. Harold just couldn't find him. Praja sliding in. Fernandez able to send it long. Now the speed. Chittadini was there. Cassidy just doing everything he could to get in his path.
Didn't look like it. Too much contact. Cassidy trying to milk it for all it was worth. I don't think he could go to ground under that and make it even more convincing. Good bright start to the half, both sides creating some semi-opportunities.
I feel like a goal is not too far away with the way things have opened up. Riak. Shongo. Nelson Shongo, former Floreat player. Now Erber. Bontor. And out the right-hand side, they get the run. Maud pressing forward. It was a great run down the right, but he hit it straight at the keeper. Either side, and we just about would have had the opener.
Well, that had to have been a cross. He's mishit it. Surely he couldn't be shooting from that angle with a side foot. Again, Southern getting in the way of a potential ECU attack, which I don't think they're best impressed with.
Second time that's happened tonight.
But a great overload by Adelaide Olympic on this right-hand side. And Maud will be disappointed with his quality. There were players steaming in at the far post that would have had a tap in.
He's played in Lithuania. Cody Maud throughout his career. Signed halfway through the season for Olympic. Runs a football academy back in Adelaide. Strong work by Hughes. Bontor not giving up on it. Stay just inside the field of play. Praja, his ball forward for Harold. Too much there. Young goalkeeper, not too much of a rush. Mendes. Anadakis. Off. Healing for the run again, this time of Hughes, but Kavanagh out to meet it. Big responsibility for the young goalkeeper tonight.
It is, and he's certainly seemed to have taken it in his stride. He's come out, met the ball well when he's had to. Communicated well with his defenders.
Over, challenged by Cassidy. Maud wants to go quickly. Shongo. Neatly done against Chittadini. Working in a tight space. Coachy couldn't find the touch he wanted. It'll be a throw for ECU Joondalup.
We haven't spoken too much about Kochi, have we? But he's been instrumental in how Olympic have been playing. He breaks up the play right in front of the Olympic back four. Moves the ball quickly, brings people into the game. Certainly helps to make them tick.
Battling there with Kochi. Border just finds some space. Praja. Now Hughes. Up for Harold. Praja will send it all the way back to Perkins. Cassidy. Hoff. Riak wide again. Back with Praja, now with Harold. Finally a little bit of space. Hughes, healing. And Bontor commits the foul.
Good football from ECU. And there's the, again, Harold just intelligent, drops back in the space. Saw Hughes making the run forwards. Harold drops back in, unmarked to pick it up. Ball feels to Healing, is able to draw the foul. Maybe just outside his range, but I have seen him hit him from there before and hit them well. Uncanny ability to hit a knuckleball at times as well and really make it move through the air.
Ellis Healing. An opportunity in the first half from pretty close range for a free kick. This one a long way out. But it's Ellis Healing, and it's wide. Not troubling the keeper again.
It's two-sided he has. Usually doesn't need more than that.
See the substitution. Bontor, man to make way. Giannis Moses with a man into the action for Adelaide Olympic. Man from Greece. So an early substitution for Olympic.
Looks like a slight change as well. Chinadini coming out to the right-hand side. Samosa straight through the middle. He's a solid player. Certainly be a handful in the air. Olympic will be looking to work off any flick-ons across this.
Out of the Greece under-19s, Giannis Moses. A lot of experience. Played at a lot of clubs throughout his career. Maud lifts the ball over. Chittadini into the area, making things dangerous. Appeals for a handball from Olympic. And wide again. Jason Konstantopoulos to Kristen. Anadakis. Back for Konstantopoulos down that left-hand side. Bit of work for Hoff to do. Konstantopoulos keeps his run going. The cross goes in. And right at that near post, Moses was such a big chance just into the action. There's everything going on inside the area. They've got the appeal out. It'll be a goal kick for ECU Joondalup.
Well, nearly a great impact. Samosis, you'd have to say. Shongo's won the ball, then perhaps followed through. Straight away, the big striker causing problems.
Long ball in again. Oh, Samosis, but able to bring that one down. Immediately, he's such a target. And the ECU Joondalup defenders are going to have to be very, very wary.
It just adds a different dimension straight away. Erber's not bad in the air. Samosis will certainly be a target.
For Amphlett. Healing. A good run by Praja down that right-hand side. Healing was able to find him. He'll send the cross in. That's no one at the back post for ECU Joondalup.
Was a good run, good switch of play. ECU just not having that runner at the far post.
Challenge won by Riak. Hughes. Now Healing. He's going to pull the trigger from long range. Not far away at all. Ellis Healing had the young keeper diving away to his right-hand side. Just curled to the left of that upright. Big chance there.
Well, it just opened up for Healing, didn't it? Saw the space, was able to take the touch out, size it up. Just not quite hitting the target.
He's just going up a notch or two. Cassidy able to play it away. Throw to Olympic. Deep on that right-hand side. Samosis. Blocked away. Wilson able to get in front of Amphlett. Maud sends it in. Urbo was there twisting and turning, and then on the follow, and skies away from Constantopoulos.
Well, it was a half chance for Urbo. Certainly a chance for Constantopoulos, though. As it fell on the edge of the box. Again, the Olympic shooting has been somewhat wayward, you would have to say. Well, Olympic get away with that. If Harold had wriggled free, Tommy Amphlett was in acres of space on the far side.
Instead, it's Olympic back on the ball. Maud. Samosis. Able to hold it up under some attention from Shongo. Kochi loses out. Now Joondalup can try and counter. Harold just holding things up, waiting to see a run. He spotted Shongo out to the left. Wants to take on Chiradini on that left-hand side. Chiradini played it pretty well.
Very well defended. Started off to shape to show him inside quickly. Moved to outside and able to outthink and outpace Shongo as they went to the goal line.
Spot in the round of 16 up for grabs. Draw will be done tomorrow for those teams that have been able to get to that stage. We've still got a number of fixtures obviously to be played in the round of 32. The tournament will progress as it can. Not easy trying to juggle all the border closures and restrictions on teams. Even being able to just train together in certain parts of the country. Lockdowns on the East Coast. Certainly WA and South Australia have been very fortunate for the most part. Lucky to have this fixture being allowed to be played, and those from South Australia able to just fly in.
It is, and as we said, a good contingent from Adelaide Olympic here. An opportunity for those around the country to tune into some live local action as well.
Where's this first goal going to come from?
Well, for ECU's perspective, you expect it's a little breakaway. A bit of space that's been created through Harold Amphleth's movement. Adelaide Olympic looking to go a much more direct route now. Still looking very dangerous.
Go Olympic. Said he can go and check out all the information around the FFA Cup, the ffacup.com.au. Keep an eye on that tomorrow. See some more matchups finalised when the draw's done for those teams eligible to be part of that tomorrow. Shongo just showing a little bit too much of that to Samosis. The error, Chiradini, chance to go. No power in the shot, deflects off Joondalup, but reeled in by Perkins.
Still just can't get a decent shot on target, can they, Olympic? For the pressure, what they've created, the opportunities, they just haven't been able to convert.
Strong challenge should give away the foul. Menendez making the run. Hoff across into his path. See another substitution. Tommy Amphlett, as you said there, Jamie, you weren't quite sure how long he would be able to remain out there, given he hasn't played too much football of late.
Yeah, he certainly was needed across the team for his experience, for his good movement. And the message would have been from Kenny Lowe to Tommy Amphlett, just give us as much as you can. Try and make sure we're in the game as we bring some of the younger crew on to see it out.
Petrie gets his opportunity. This is a deep ball, but well taken by Perkins in the end. They were awkward with the bodies all around him. Harold is trying to use his pace, but not able to get clear. Pick again. Konstantopoulos chips it up. Cassidy cuts it out. Healing with the neat feet. Riak trying to find a way through.
Just being a bit too impatient, Olympic now. It doesn't seem to every opportunity they're trying to throw the ball into Samosas rather than just trying to work that little bit of space.
Expect the intensity just to keep lifting as the minutes tick by in these cup fixtures. Spot in the round of 16 up for grabs to the victor. Chance to keep progressing. And she sends it in. Herbert back post, but well read by Perkins. Quickly out to take it.
Was a good take, it had to be as well. That ball had just been a little bit further away. Herbert would have been the favourite. As it was, Perkins' decisive action made it his.
Ward wins a foul. Opposed to Petrie. Jason Petrie substituted. He's been at a few different clubs over the last few seasons. Over here in the West.
Great opportunity for him here tonight on the national stage. Show that, repay the faith that Kenny Lowe showed in him.
It's a great thing about the Cup as well. It's a chance for players really to put their name out there. We've seen a number of them over the seasons be able to transform great performances through the FFA Cup to opportunities at the higher level.
Yeah, certainly A-League clubs are still casting their net across teams for the new season. Seeing what players they may bring in to bolster. Certainly some really good news stories across that. Miller, who was at South Melbourne, then signed for Central Coast and Newcastle, was one who had a fantastic FFA Cup run a couple of years back that launched his A-League career.
Marcus whips it in. An opportunity here for Olympic, and Penendus able to put it away. And Olympic have the first goal on the board, and it is Christos Penendus, the striker turned centre back, who's able to find the back of the net. And Adelaide Olympic are able to get it done, and it was athletically done as well by the big man. Samosas had the first attempt. It's set up for Penendus, and he was able to send it home. Olympic have the lead.
Well, an emphatic finish. I think you spoke earlier, didn't you, perhaps, saying he scored more goals as a centre-back than he has as a striker? Well, that's why. Coming forward for corners, causing a problem. Samosas, in all honesty, probably should have done better with the initial one, but it popped up to Penentis nicely. His first touch probably wasn't where it expected him to be, but he showed imagination. He got to the ball first. He was determined and forced it home. Adelaide Olympic, what an opportunity for them here with 20 minutes left on the clock to progress through. ECU really need to come out now and chase this game.
We'll change the dynamic in this cup fixture. And it's Adelaide Olympic who break through to take the advantage. Christos Punendis, the man who was able to do it, and had so many opportunities. And it took the defender to creep forward and put it in the back of the net. A teacher back in South Australia, I'm sure his students will be happy to see that one go in. And with 71 minutes gone in this fixture, I reckon we're in for a pretty good patch in this match. ECU Joondalup can't sit back now. They've got to take the match on.
No, it'll be interesting to see if Kenny Lowe will adjust the formation, perhaps throw a couple more players forwards. He does like to play an attacking, expansive game as it is.
They continue to go here. Hughes down the right-hand side. Crowd were up, and Praja lets it run. Hoff thought about pulling the trigger. He'll go wide to Shongo. They want to attack into the area, tease it up. No one there at the back post though for Joondalup.
He did ever so well, Shongo, to get into that position in the first place. He squared up, moored, jinked around him. And then when you need just that little bit of composure and quality, he's overhit the ball completely. And the chance goes begging.
Manadakis with the long throw. Praja again working hard and wins a foul. Stamatolopoulos up out of his chair. They've got the advantage now, travelling across to Perth to take on ECU Joondalup. They've been threatening for large patches of this match. They finally got the breakthrough. He's healing. Hoff. Praja. He'll cut back inside, and then off that left boot. That's straight at the keeper in Kavanagh.
Adelaide with a lot of players back behind. ECU need to be inventive and creative across that space. Simply throwing the ball into the box with the likes of Wilson and Punendis there isn't likely to bring them too much success.
Right break here for Chittadini down that right-hand side. Samosis is making a run. Cross just a little over hit. Chasing Konstantopoulos, lovely step initially, but Riak was there to help. Kenny Lowe stalking along the touchline. Urging his side on. Praja. Healing, just bobbled up into the hand.
It's tough in the middle of the park there, especially. Not always the truest of bounces here at Dorrien Gardens at the moment.
Another substitution for ECU. Hoff. That's away. Oscar Alfiore into the action.
Looks like Declan Hughes has dropped back in front of the back four with Riak. Alfiore playing a little bit higher.
finishing off the match going to be so crucial. And there's a mistake from Riak as well. Just as that fatigue really does set in, we're going to see a few mistakes. Any chances going.
As they're trying to lift the tempo as well. Move the ball that bit quicker, be that bit more aggressive. Always the likelihood that something will go wrong technically. Still with strong possession on ECU Joondalup's side. Just haven't been able to create or take advantage of that possession.
Riak. Tremendous. Stay with Olympic. Adelaide Olympic club that's been through a bit of everything throughout their history. This ball chipped up towards Cittadini, who had a couple of ideas running through his head as he went to attack it.
Well, it was inventive from Erba. I think Cittadini said, oh, okay, I'll match you on that one. Fortunately, the result wasn't quite the same.
Thought about 3 different options, didn't really do any of them in the end, but Joondalup back on the ball. Talk about Olympic grand final back in 2004, which they lost to the Metro Stars. Basically went to the brink in 2008, but a host of former players able to come back and reinvest in the club and reinvent it. Speaking to President before 10 years ago, and they had 1.5 junior teams. Now they've got the full complement, really come back, and you see them performing again in the FFA Cup. Great moment for their club. Samosas. Out wide, Cittadini, flag stays down, fires it across the face of the goal mouth. Erba is there holding things up again. Trying to go past Lowry, lifts it up, and he lifts it in from the tightest of angles. Erba is able to find just the smallest of gaps onto the post and into the back of the net. And they are celebrating Adelaide Olympic. 2 to the good now. And could be just minutes away from progressing through to the round of 16. And it's their main man who was able to get it done. He had Lowry guarding him. And he just thought his way through it, picked his spot, and was able to put it away. Remarkable.
Incredible finish from Erba. Absolutely class. There wasn't much more that Lowry could have done in that situation. He showed him the line. He's on his right foot trying to bend that one back in. I don't think there was any thought of looking for Samosas there. He was looking for that far corner. And what a finish. Erba, Olympic with 2 quick goals. Is that enough to see off ECU Joondalup, who've been brave? But just the quality from Erba really putting Adelaide Olympic 1 foot into the next round.
Fausto Erba, the Italian, been such a prolific goal scorer for Adelaide Olympic. Been at the club since 2015. He's this season notched up over 100 goals for the club. And such an important one there, just to give themselves a bit of space in this fixture. You see goals there in the 70th and 78th minutes. Have sent this fixture right to the advantage of Adelaide Olympic. Nothing to lose now for ECU Joondalup. 11 minutes just to take the game on. See if they can claw one back and then think about a second. But Olympic have just got that bit of breathing space now, Jamie.
They have. Fantastic thing to have at this stage of a cup final, of a cup game, sorry. ECU need to hit back quickly, you would think. The momentum is a funny thing. A goal at any time in these last minutes will certainly spur ECU on and cause some nervousness for Olympic.
Constantopoulos to take the advantage there. Cittadini down the left. He wants to join in as well. Working in between 2 defenders. Eventually they put it out for the throw.
ECU really not too much else on the bench in terms of experience. Someone who can unlock the Adelaide Olympic defence. Can Chris Harold, Ellis Healing summon something to get them back into this game?
Oh, mistake from Riak. Shongo over to help out. Joondalup back on the ball. Hoping for Petrie. We'll go back and find it again. He's got Healing in support. Chips the ball up to the top of the box, but headed away by Olympic. Kavanagh won't take any chances.
Got put under a little bit of pressure there by Wilson, just taking a little bit too long to play the ball, playing it slightly behind him as well. Don't want to invite anything onto themselves, Adelaide Olympic. They've got themselves in a great position.
Petrie too aggressive. Gives away the foul. They'll be in absolutely no rush now, Adelaide Olympic, and why not?
Careful, don't take too long.
He's a financial consultant, Paul Wilson, so he'll be able to work the numbers. How many seconds he can get away with. Now Kavanagh. Samosis. Lost by Hughes. Good challenge back in on Kochi. Cover again from Olympic, and Kavanagh deals with that.
Very good challenge by Hughes. He had to be careful. Both feet off the ground. Clearly won the ball. Kavanagh was impressed as a young keeper. Probably would have been nervous on the flight over. Wouldn't have slept too well. But to come out and put in an assured performance must be pleasing.
To this point, a clean sheet. He'll be very happy if he can keep it that way.
Praja with a look of disbelief. The contact was certainly there into the middle of the back. It was a bit theatrical from Manadakis. Yellow card for time wasting.
Penendis picks that up. You said they'd have to be careful, Jamie. Well, it just overstepped. Game is in their keeping. And another big opportunity here, Constantopoulos. But it goes over the top. Cassidy was right there with him. It just broke through. Almost out of nothing in the end. Constantopoulos able to take it through with him.
It's just the mix-up between Shongo and Cassidy. Constantopoulos nearly take advantage. Looked like it may have been a touch off Cassidy in his recovery. Free awarded the goal kick. That would have been the hammer blow, wouldn't it, for ECU?
Petrie. Hughes. Down the right-hand side they go. Praja for Harold's. A deep ball. Too much on it. Shongo can't reel it in either.
They had bodies getting into the box in ECU. Harold just overhit.
Referee telling Olympic to get a wriggle on again. Maud. Kristen Constantopoulos, and it will be a throw for ECU Joondalup.
Certainly not one yet for Olympic. They need to be careful. I go to complete defensive mode.
That's where you can concede one. And the opposition can get a bit of momentum back. It'll take something pretty dramatic from here. It's been an emotional few weeks for ECU Joondalup. Spoke about Danny Hodgson earlier, his parents here in the crowd watching on. Just a reminder, if anyone does want to help out and support, they can go to that GoFundMe page. Big opportunity here to make it 3. Chittadini around the keeper. The contact was there from Perkins. The card straight out of the pocket. The penalty will be upcoming. He was left one-on-one. Great touch from Chittadini to go past, and Perkins brought him down.
Good movement from Chittadini. Started the move wide, went inside as Samosas released him. That was the price for ECU, pressing, trying to get one back. And we spoke just earlier that this could be the hammer blow, the nail in the to finish off ECU here tonight. This is the substitute who's looking to take it.
Perkins picks up the yellow for that challenge. No doubt about it. Now it's Giannis Samosas to step up to the spot. Two to the good already. I look to the veteran. And it's Samosas who puts it away. And Olympic are on their way. 3-0 the scoreline. The penalty converted by Giannis Samosas. And the round of 16 awaits.
It was emphatic from Samosas. Rifled into the bottom corner. Perkins went the right way, tried to make up for giving away the penalty in the first place. There's nothing he could do. That was the ball from Samosas that came through. Chittadini just opened his body up, cut across. Perkins sprawling, couldn't get the ball, took the man. And the Samosas to ice the cake for Adelaide Olympic. Right in the bottom corner. Perkins couldn't have got closer, but all to no avail.
3-0 now. And it has turned well and truly in favour of the visitors. Running away with it in the end. Disappointing finish for ECU Joondalup, who were so gallant through the first parts of this match. But in the last, really, 10-15 minutes, it's been Adelaide Olympic who've just been able to finish when they weren't able to earlier on in the game.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a little bit of match fitness. You can't discount the difference of that. Tommy Amphlett going off for ECU, lost a lot of experience there. Adelaide Olympic, you must credit them. They were able to turn the screws, continue to maintain pressure on ECU. And once that first goal had gone in, albeit it's a little bit fortuitously, at least in the lead-up, Adelaide Olympic always looked like they were going to be stronger and continue on with it. ECU, after just getting battered in the first 15 minutes, really, as you said, showed a great deal of character, come back in the game, finish the first half stronger, but has ultimately run out of legs.
Konstantopoulos continuing to go. Rain just getting a little heavier in the last couple of minutes of this fixture. Reminder, we'll have the draw for those teams eligible for the round of 16 tomorrow. Head to the FFAcup.com to check out all of that information and keep an eye on things. Of course, there's still some round of 32 fixtures to be played, but we'll press ahead with the round of 16 as we can. And keep an eye out for that, ffacup.com.au. So 5 minutes of time to be added on. Brisbane Roar, Gold Coast Knights, Lions FC, Adelaide United already through, and Olympic on the verge of joining them. React, pull into the feet of Harold, couldn't trap it.
ECU still playing at a high tempo, trying to get something out of the game. It would be fitting reward if they were to get a consolation goal. Certainly contributed to a good spectacle here tonight.
Cassidy forward. I was just giving the reminder before that penalty was given away about the GoFundMe page for Danny Hodgson. Anyone watching on tonight feels part of the football community, just head on to the GoFundMe website and search for Danny Hodgson, a man who was attacked in the city a couple of weeks ago. Here's Moses going after it. Strong challenge from Cassidy. Moses feeling the effects of that. Another card comes out of the pocket. We'll see substitution in a moment. Danny Hodgson in intensive care in a hospital here in Perth. It's been a pretty high profile incident. ECU Joondalup as a team been in the news a lot. If anyone can find it to reach in and support, please head to that website. See a couple of substitutions coming up here. Urbo scored a fantastic goal in this half, which really broke it right open for Olympic. We'll have a seat. Kristen Konstantopoulos as well. Jacob Jones into the action. Joondalup making a substitution as well. So both coaches just making some changes. Chance for a few of the youngsters to have some time on the pitch. It will be a corner for Olympic. They send the ball in, headed away by Cassidy. Allowed to just let run, it will be a throw for Olympic. Ward hasn't stopped working. And this is Chittadini. Cassidy will switch things up. Fiore. Forward they go. Harold was hoping it would skip through to him. Fiore again. Praja. Wilson in the road. Praja will send the cross in, and Kavanagh able to get back and take it again.
Well, he nearly misjudged it, didn't he? He got himself a little bit tangled.
Just a sigh of relief there as he collected it in the end.
Certainly righted himself in time.
A second stick away. Just about there. More substitutions for Olympic as they work their way right through the bench in the closing stages.
As you said, fantastic opportunity for these young players to experience Great time for the other Olympic players in particular anyway, to be able to do so with no pressure.
Had quite a number of their first team missing tonight, Adelaide Olympic, and brought a number of reserve players over. They get their opportunity to take the pitch in this FFA Cup match. They started the better. ECU Joondalup worked their way into it. Had the bulk of possession through the match, but they've finished strongly. Have Adelaide and a chance to push on even further. Looking to make it 4. That one dragged right across in the end. Stars in the eyes, but just not able to put it away.
It was good endeavour as well. Push forwards quickly. Simopoulos. But when a little bit of a blood rush there. Just didn't have the composure to find the bottom corner. It would have been unfair on ECU Joondalup off 4th, I think, as well, across the context of the game.
You'll be forgiven for that rush, but you've only just stepped on the pitch. The first touch. And that will do it. ECU Joondalup will try to do it for Danny. But it is Adelaide Olympic who move through to the round of 16. A fantastic performance heading across to the west and getting it done. And they progress through to the next round of the FFA Cup. They started the brightest. They took the game to ECU Joondalup, who have dealt with a number of weeks of heavy emotion with what's been happening off the pitch to one of their players. But full credit to Adelaide Olympic for the way they were able to finish this match off, particularly in the last 20 minutes. Really